Nothing too tough today, nothing long. Just wanted to get on here and say hi and talk about something, anything. But what was on my mind this morning was how come women are so undervalued? Um, I've been here on my current job. It'll be 7 years in January. And I left a 9 year state job to come here. Um, Everybody goes through trials and tribulations in life, and we put things on hold and go down different roads to get to different avenues that we want to pursue. So, that being said, I started college, dropped out of college, started college, dropped out of college. Story goes on and on. And then, got into a relationship, got married, had a kid, put myself back in school, but it didn't work out as well because I didn't have the support I needed, the time, the energy, whatever. Just didn't work out. So I gave up schooling again. By the way, I majored in psychology. Um, but after my divorce and becoming a single mom and, trying to figure out life as it pertains to myself and my kid, for him, not knowing, I took a chance on faith. I reached. I'm tired of being in a situation that I can't fix clearly. Um, and that's another thing. I know I'm all over the place this morning, however, let me just say this. When we're in a situation that we don't want to be in, and we pray to God to remove us, but yet we continue to put in the work to try to make it work, He's not going to remove you. You have to be consistent in what you're asking for. I'm not saying that you're supposed to not do what you're supposed to do while you're in that situation. However, if you constantly pray to be removed from the situation, do not constantly try to work it out for yourself to make the situation work. Because either you want to be there or you don't. Either you want to better yourself or better the situation or you don't. So you have to be specific in your prayers and what you're asking God for. And I say that to say I was in a situation that was never ending downslide. But being the woman that I am and having in my heart and in my head that, you know, God says that, you know, you're not supposed to get a divorce, to try to work things out, and so on and so forth. And just being the person that I am, I was the glue, and I tried to remain the glue and try to keep things um, going and working. But that's another story. Just didn't happen. So the divorce happened, not knowing where I was going to be in life, not knowing how to react as a single mother, because that was unfamiliar territory for me. But my then, I've always worked multiple jobs to take care of myself in the first place. Um, Sometimes women and men, not just women. Because, like I said in the first video, this is not a man bashing station, and it will never be. But sometimes women and men find ourselves in a relationship with our partner, but we're still, I put on my big girl panties and I did what I had to do. I started working more hours at work, and, which was a normal thing for me anyway. That was nothing new. I was always a natural hustler and, always had ambition and a plan to take care of myself and my child. So did that, and I said, well, let me do something that's going to better us in the long run, aside from writing my books. Because as you guys know, or you may not know, I'm a self-published author. My books aren't in any major chain stores, which I'm going to try to get them in. But when I write my books and manufacture them and produce them, or whatever, The sales are directly from me. I have a website. It's www.zaretafonseca.com. Website is www.zaretafonseca.com. I have a three-part series so far. The first book is called Twisted by Seduction, which is being printed right now. Is titled Tina. So, but that being said, I basically do everything on my own. So I got myself back in school. You know, that was a challenge because, like I said, I was like, well, how am I going to do that when I have my child to take care of? I got to stay at work and not stay at work, but, excuse me, constantly make sure I'm going to work to get the hours to provide. However, I just gave a little prayer to God and just, asked Him to lead the way. Needless to say, I graduated this June. I should say I participated in the commencement this June, but I received my degree last year in November um, in psychology, which was great because it took a lot for me to go back, and it took a lot for me to, once I was back, to continue with it, to not get discouraged, to not stop what I was doing, to not get intimidated by it and say that, I just can't do it, or I didn't make any excuse. I did what I had to do and I pushed through. And that's easier said than done. Trust and believe it really is. Studying is countless and endless hours. And then, when you have children, you have to study their school material as well and help them with schoolwork and make sure that they, are fed and, have the adequate rest at night and, taking their showers and baths and making sure their educational needs are met and making sure playtime is met and making sure family time and love is there and so on and so forth. It's challenging being a parent, period. Whether you're single or in a relationship, it's challenging being a parent. Being a parent is a full-time job and it's your number one job beyond the hourly or salary-wise job that we may have. Being a parent is number one. So I completed that, and now I'm in my bachelor's degree program. My first degree was in Associates of Psychology. Now I'm in my bachelor's of science with a concentration in management. Um, I'll be complete this in August of next year. I have 27 credits left to obtain, and then I'll have my second degree. And straight from there, I'm going into my master's degree of psychology. And then I think that is 36 credits, so that'll be another year and a couple months. And then from there, I'm going into my doctoral program for psychology. I said all of that to say, um, as women, well, and as men, period. Let's just say that we're not going to even put a caption or a title to it. As individuals, and individuals especially of color, we always have to step up our game no matter what. If the job requires an associate's degree, we got to go and get a bachelor's. If the job requires a degree, period, we have to have the degree plus the experience. Um, Sometimes, no matter what we do, is never enough. No matter what we do, it's just never enough. Coincidentally, I have both a full-time and a part-time job. And coincidentally, again, both those jobs are for the same company. Here's the kicker to that. My work ethic. Um, you know my integrity. You know my attendance. Um, you know everything about me. Paper-wise and face-to-face. You know me. I don't understand how I can't cross that bridge of progression to another position within the company that I already work for and that I've been working for years. Maybe that's God's way of telling me that I'm greater than that and that's not my destination that He had planned for me, which is fine. But at the same time, when you go to these places and apply for these jobs and so on and so forth, and you either don't get a call or you get the call or email saying that you weren't chosen, so on and so forth. Don't you believe that you should have an explanation as to why? I believe so. And I don't think that it should be a generalized explanation as to, oh, we chose somebody else for the position. They had, experience than you. Or qualifications are, in my mind, apparently I met the qualifications. That's why I applied. So, I mean, I think that these jobs and announcements should be pretty darn specific as to what they are looking for, how long you have to have with education or experience or whatever the case may be. I don't think that it should just be a broad listing or something like that, and then you waste your time and energy applying for something that they knew they were never going to hire you for in the first place, because obviously you're missing something that they were looking for. But again, what is it exactly that you're looking for? Because obviously I thought that I had what it is that you're asking for in your announcement. That's why I applied. Um, we are just we we are just never enough, and that is pretty sad, and at times can be upsetting and sickening. You continue to, build your resume with experience and education and so on and so forth, just to continue to get excuse after excuse after excuse. And at some point of your life, you say to yourself, well, what am I going to stop being insane by applying to these different positions and jobs and just become my own boss? That's a good question. However, that requires money. That requires a targeted market. That requires customers. That requires more education and more experience, so on and so forth. I am my own business owner. However, like I said, my books are solely sold by me. I do my Facebook ads, my Twitter, my Instagram. You can't make a person buy your product. You can sell all you want. You can advertise all you want. Um, we are becoming a little lazy because of technology. Technology is so easy and everything is done for us in technology that we get away with doing we get away from doing things on our own. A lot of people ask me, well, why don't you make your books audio books? You know, um, I can listen to it while I drive and so on and so forth. That's great. That's fine and dandy. But what happens to imagining scenes? What happens to getting in touch with what you're reading? What happens to, sitting in a quiet corner with a throw blanket and a glass of wine or and some jazz or something in front of a fireplace with a great book in your actual hand? You hearing the page turn as you read and your jaw dropping and you can't wait to read the next line instead of hearing somebody else read it for you, into hearing those words being played in your mind with your own voice and then imagining what's happening for yourself. Um, but I just said all of that to say that it's a disgrace how we work so hard in our lives, be it educational or experience, to get the same thing that somebody else has that we know we deserve, and we either still never get it or we get it, but it is somehow a portion of it is taken away. I just wonder about these things sometimes. It's like, I have this education and I have, this experience, but yet the move is still not there. Um, and it's sad actually, but it's life. It is what it is. What can you do? So I will be venturing into different avenues to get to where I need and want to be in life. You guys have a great day.